Welcome again, and we'll be traveling through the Bible, but in reference to this, we will be taking part in some exercising. Whereas this will be segment 1. Segment 2 is going to break down all the scriptural references as to why we exercise, not only physically but spiritually. I'm going to read a verse of scripture, then I guess I'm going to punish my body like an athlete so that you all will get the picture. And the scripture is 1 Corinthians 9:27, and it says, "But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest at any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway." We're going to dive into that, but first I'm going to get on this bike, warm up, and then while I'm doing this, we'll continuously go through a series of exercises of exercising the body physically. As I said, segment 1, we'll do the physical aspect, we'll do the natural aspect, and then we'll move into the spiritual aspect on segment 2. So let's get started. With any type of exercise, you must warm up. And we're doing the natural and the physical part right now, and not the spiritual. So when we're warming up, we want to get the body moving. Spiritually speaking, from that aspect, we'll have to do something totally different. Like I say, I'm going to cover all that in segment 2. We have to warm this body up. We have to keep this body in motion and moving in order to warm up all of the extremities. So we're going to do this for a moment. We're going to continuously move on to other exercises. And as we do that, I'll demonstrate and explain the exercise of what is profiting me physically. But spiritually speaking, in segment 2, we'll dig a little deeper in that. As we work out, you see that I'm being twisted, turned in every direction, which the word teaches us not to be moved by every wind of doctrine. The only way to do that is to be rooted and grounded, which we'll show you in a few moments. Working out physically prepares us, strengthens us for certain challenges that we don't even know that may even come. Training physically. If we train this hard physically, how much harder should we have to train spiritually? Fitness is key, physically. But I'm telling you, your spiritual fitness is paramount. An out of shape Christian, spiritually speaking, is no good. They're not prepared, they're not ready, and trust me, they're going to lack all the things they need when it's time for battle. The devil loves to beat up on an out of shape Christian. Trust me. Being that obesity pretty much sums up America, doesn't mean the Christian has to be a part of that group. Medically speaking, some people may be challenged, but I have to tell you, not everybody. And if we start taking care of our bodies physically, then we wouldn't have some of the health challenges that we have today. Whereas if we do the same thing spiritually speaking, we definitely wouldn't have the faith failures, and we'll be grounded and rooted in knowing that God is able to do all things. Be sure to stay tuned for segment 2. That's going to explain all of this physical activity I've just done to demonstrate how some of us work very hard and diligently in keeping our bodies in shape, but spiritually speaking, we're out of shape. And some of us don't keep our bodies in shape at all. But nevertheless, it's something we should do. The biggest thing, most Christians, we can see it, we can take it, but we don't know how to keep it. Try to take something from me right now. I can tell you right now, I'm one guy the devil don't want to mess with. Definitely not spiritually. We have to push. If we don't, we'll never know what's beyond on the other side. Some of us get so close to a blessing and quit, and the blessing is right there, right around the corner. Pushing yourself even when the body doesn't want to go forward. That's your endurance. It's kind of like reading when you want to go to bed. Every now and then you just gotta push. So when you get that voice in the middle of the night or early in the morning saying get up, pray, read your word, it's for a reason. Preparing ourselves for challenges physically is the same way we need to prepare ourselves spiritually for the things that will come. Because in this life, God did say that we will have tribulations. That's 3 times the trouble. This one here reminds me of Samson between the 2 pillars. But as you can see, it's a little difficult, but not that hard. Again, training is everything. Not only physically, you hear me say it's constantly, but spiritually as well. Working out physically definitely pays, and it hurts, and it's time consuming, and it eats into your sleep, but you got to make time for it. So much so, it's the same thing you have to do with your word.